Well, hopefully some of these tips have helped you out, and the next two lessons are more of advice than they are tips. But they're just as important, if not as important, as any other way to raise your credit. And the first thing we really need to talk about is to understand to learn from your mistakes. And I think that we all learn the most from our mistakes. And if you have a bad credit score, you may not even know why you got it. Hopefully, by this point in the lesson, you'll understand why your credit score might not be as good as you think it is, and you can change some of those things or all of those things, but make sure that you do. Okay? Ask yourself some questions, and how do you answer them, right? Do you develop credit problems because you overspend while you're shopping? Do you have things you don't need? We all do. Sometimes it makes us feel good to buy stuff. We've created this emotional response to it, but the point is be honest when you're answering these questions. Are you disorganized? You forget to pay your bills. It happens. It happens to me. If there weren't email reminders, I would probably still forget. Um, and I forget that I have things on auto pay too. That I think, whoo, it's a good thing I did have on auto pay because I would have totally forgotten to pay that. If it is, how are you going to get yourself organized? Use the technology that we have. Use spreadsheets that we have. Use auto pays. Even if you have to send yourself and set it up for 5 minutes to send yourself an email every month and set the date on it so that you know you have to pay these bills at a certain time, then do that. Are your bills just too large for your current income? And this happens to more people than you would believe. No matter what neighborhood or what area they live in, we seem to expand and contract our budget and our spending with our income. So if we get a raise, I don't know if any of you experience this, but maybe 5 years ago you were living on a certain income, and I know there's inflation that can be taken into consideration, but 5 years later you've gotten a couple of raises or you've gotten a better job, and you're still in the same financial shape that you were 5 years prior, but you're bringing in an extra five or 10,000 or $20,000, and you're wondering yourself, why in the heck am I in the same shape I am? Because your bills are too big for your income, and your bills are expanding as your income expands. The greatest thing you can do is expand your income and contract your bills, and then you'll become a millionaire, because that's what millionaires do. They never spend more than they make. Simple and plain as that. That's the first key to becoming a millionaire. All right? Do you get overcharged for things and fail to notice it until much later? Do you pay attention to it? Another thing is, my question, and I've had this happen too, do you have overdraft fees in your bank or overcharge fees on your credit card? This happened to me in the past too. If you're disorganized, sometimes you'll play that game where, all right, I wrote a check today, I don't get paid till tomorrow or 2 days from today. Hopefully it won't make it through by then, and then boom, it made it through and you get hit with a $35 fee. Did you really need that item that day? Or are you so disorganized? If so, really sit down and take the time to organize yourself. If you've gotten this far in the lessons and you're this dedicated, which I hope and pray that all of you are, you should have no problem after this lesson to sit down and work on organization, how to do it. Use the spreadsheets that I've given. Figure out a way, if it's with post-it notes or on your phone or whatever, automatic pay, get yourself organized and answer these questions honestly. You really need to learn how to budget. And if you don't know how to budget, go back to the lessons on budget. Do them again and again. Go take the Destroy Your Debt class that's a couple hours after this one and learn how to save yourself some money. Learn how to budget. Learn how to get yourself out of the habits that have formed you to get into this position. And it's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately, but it can happen quickly. It really can. And if you're in a bad position, if you're scared to get your credit report right off the bat, if you're scared to get started on this, then that fear should help you to get through this step quickly. Live within your means. It's as simple and plain as the way it goes, and it's not what we do as Americans. But you need to live within your means. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't ever compare yourself to what other people are doing. After we're done with these lessons on destroying your debt and building your credit, we're going to move on to lessons, hopefully you will too, on how to become a millionaire and how to become an entrepreneur. And then you will live within your means, because you will be distracted. You will expand your means and make extra money, and then you can expand what lifestyle you're trying to have. Get the book The Millionaire Next Door. Read that book and you'll understand in detail how people who are wealthy live, and they all live within their means. Get out of spending habits. And I say challenge yourself. When I exercise, I push myself to a place where you're not comfortable. And that's the only time you ever get results, is when you're not comfortable. Do the same thing with your spending habits. Push yourself to a place where you're not comfortable. Get rid of television. Don't get rid of the internet. You can't do any more of the lessons. Get rid of a cell phone or a home phone or whatever. Find something. Make yourself uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, you know you're doing something and you're getting out of old habits. And that's the best thing you can do, is to put yourself in a state of uncomfort. And it is in a beneficial state of uncomfort. Don't spend extra money and be in this uncomfortable state that you're in now, but in a beneficial uncomfortable state, because if you have no television to watch, it forces you to do something else with your time, and usually it's something creative, or it's something where you can earn yourself some extra money. And that's what you need to focus on, because the faster, the more money you make, the more you can live within your means or expand your means if you want to, and the faster you can get that paid off and build your credit up. So these are the type of things that I'm talking about. I know that you guys can do it. If you've gotten this far, I have the utmost confidence that you can get through this. And I hope that everyone who starts gets this far. I hope and pray that everyone does, really, because I want to see everyone get through this class and be successful and post on the blog, I did it, I did the 30 days, my credit score did this, this is awesome, and start building that wealth so we can build these millionaire networks within each other, because these are the steps. I want to take you from point A, which is in debt, bad credit, fair credit, whatever, to the final step, C, D, whatever it is, whatever step it takes to get there, even if it's M, N, or F, or Z, it doesn't matter, to the final step of being financially free, wealthy, never having a care, never having a worry, and being in that position. So get to this. I ask yourself these questions. Why is it a tip to raise your score? Because by not doing the wrong things, your score will automatically raise by doing the right things. Remember, 88 things are designed to knock your credit score up, and only 13 things can raise your credit score. It's key to make sure you're not doing one of those 88 negative factors to drop your credit score. And by default, by not doing it, your credit score will be raising. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Be honest with yourself at this step and go out and figure it out. You can do it.